Hello, everybody, and we are back to our set of interviews, adventures, talks, and even panels. Sorry for the situation in the earlier panel. We had some issues with the camera, but still, I hope that you enjoyed everything. And if you didn't, go and watch it. It was horrible. We did some things with the camera. So now I have here a new thought leader that comes from far, far away. I actually think might be one of the farthest ones that
I think
comes
so.
to the
There is one
conference.
people who came from the father country. I think that there is one people from Lithuania.
Oh, that's a
So
bit further.
she had probably a couple of 100 kilometers more.
Yeah,
But
but still
let's assume
close.
that we are on the second position.
Yeah.
Silver medal is not the worst one. So
Okay,
taking that.
I have here Mojiomek.
Muziomek, yeah,
Mujiomek.
perfect,
I almost
perfect.
had it. My amigo Mojiomek in Polish. I think I said it right. Um, Bartosz, and I won't try to say your last name. How do you pronounce your last name?
With L, so it's Leczycki.
Leczycki.
Yeah,
Leczycki.
but I can give you the information that it's even hard in Polish
Yeah. We
because
were talking about where are you from?
yeah, Poland, Łódź, yeah. It is the typical game we have for today. I will show you for the second that below the country or above the country which I'm from,
Let's see if I can put it so
there is
that
the
the
name of the
camera
city.
focuses on it. Nope, it's not focusing. There it is. Okay, can you see under his name, the full name? What says like lots? How do you say it?
Yeah, it's Łódź.
Huge.
Yeah, it's Łódź and it means boat in English. So yeah, that's for sure not the easiest one.
I would
Uh,
have never guessed that you have to say it that way. And so we're learning so many things. I think Polish is one of the most difficult
yeah,
languages
it's quite challenging, I
because
think.
the letters don't do the same meaning as they do in this side of the most of the letters. It always trips me. But I mean, we're not here to talk about cultural differences and pronunciations. A little bit, we're gonna have fun on that. Amigo Bartosz, before we get rolling on, we have several things that we are going to be talking about. But would you mind sharing with the audience why you are here? Who are
Hmm.
you? What do you do? What
Sure,
makes you
sure.
special?
Yeah. So the thing is that at this point I'm working as a QA technical architect. So I've been working with a bunch of the programming languages when it comes to automation because these are things related to the TypeScript, JavaScript, object-oriented programming languages like C#, Java, and all of the things around the automation proposals, right? So bunch of the architecture as well, bunch of testing types, new concepts, a lot of POCs. So I have been working as an architect, previously as a QA lead as well, senior automation as well. So a bunch of the roles. So that's when it comes to the positions. Yeah, and I'm working at StoneX. So the domain is strongly related to the stock exchange as well as with the financial markets, generally speaking. So a bunch of the things related to the client things as well, regarding KYC, IML things from the business perspective. Yeah, and it needs to be automated somehow as well. So that's the thing. And yeah, I'm here due to the fact that I have a presentation tomorrow, and this presentation is the title of this presentation is Unstoppable Monorepo Monster: Modern Full Stack Testing with React Native, and Beyond. And generally speaking, the high concept of the whole presentation is to move through all of the architectures, the high level concept of the architecture. So well, I have listed 5 or 6 of them, and we'll describe how the quality world has changed over the time, right? So there are some specific testing types that appeared due to the fact that architecture has changed as well. So that's the thing, yeah, and that's the base of the discussion. And after that, we'll build around this concept different.
I'm gonna add as is an awesome QA, awesome presenter that we're gonna check his presentation. But on top of that, he's rocking an awesome mustache that for some reason I think it's really cool. I don't know why. That's I don't know. I happen to think that. And amigo Bartosz, have you presented before on other conferences? What's your trajectory there?
Yeah, so I've been presenting last year on the Code Europe. This is quite a big conference in Poland,
Hmm.
and it was wider when it comes to all of the roles in the AI industry. I mean IT industry, because there were presentations related to the development, DevOps stuff, product stuff. Yeah, so I think that there were only two related to the quality over there, and only one related to the automation, because my Paul Christian was presenting things related to most, or closer to the hardware testing when it comes to the security.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it was the wider when it comes to the context.
And you was one of those two
Yeah, yeah,
QA
yeah,
presenters.
yeah, exactly.
That's really, really cool because means that you're spreading the word of QA. I mean, crossing borders even, which I think it's really, really cool that you're coming here up to LA to be rocking it, to be showing, bringing the Polish greatness. It sounds to me, I have several friends in IT that come from Poland that I think like, they're gonna be doing something really cool over there. So
Hmm.
many great IT engineers are coming out of there. One of them, and amigo Bartos, around this presentation that you're gonna be doing, I have several questions. I have so many elements where should I start? I mean, you're bringing up the monolith in your title. What do you mean by that? In
Hmm.
monolithical repo, was it?
Yes, it's we are starting from the monolith, right?
Yeah.
And after that, splitting went to the monolithic front and back end. After that, to the microservices concept, and the last one then to the micro apps, right? So when it how it divided step by step, yeah, and what kind of flexibilities it gave us. And the last one is monorepo. So monorepo is a matter of bringing all of these things together. So you still have a lot of flexibility, because if you will do it in the smart way, you will have a chance to release each of these components independently, right? So you are giving yourself flexibility, but you still have the consistency, due to the fact that you have the same development rules across all of the components, because you are storing all of these things in one place. You have the same rules, same code base. So, for example, there is no issues when it comes to granting an access for someone, yeah, because you are creating ticket once and that's it. Yeah, so it is giving a lot of value, but it brings as well a lot of challenges. Yeah, of course.
I was gonna ask like what type of challenges. I see a monorepo could be really, really sound like something very efficient that you are going to, yeah, it's same code, everything together, everything one with each other, but what things can go wrong with that?
Yeah, I think that the most demanding, the most challenging thing is related to the shape of the pyramid that you will choose, because from my perspective,
What
the
pyramid?
testing pyramid,
Okay.
testing shape, let's say, because pyramid means that you will have the broadest layer at the bottom, that you are in the middle, and the fewest at the top. But in this specific case, I think that if you would like to release everything independently, you need to test properly the component as well as the integration around that, right? And that's the thing. So the middle layer of the shape is super important, and I think that this one should be the broadest one, right? So integration testing, contract testing, especially contract testing, are super important to be able to make sure that the components won't, the breaking changes won't affect our infrastructure at all. That's the thing.
That's interesting that you mentioned that the integration testing is one of the most important. Okay, okay, okay. There are some others that are important as well. We are not taking teams. It's Bartosz's posture. Why do you think they are the most important above some others?
Hmm.
That I
Hmm.
mean, I got like, whoa. What about performance?
Oh, performance is super important. We have performance as well. We are using K6 for that.
But
Uh,
why is it more than integration?
I
Or
mean,
integration is
yeah, yeah. I mean,
above?
it's hard to say that some of them are more important than the other, because I think that each of them are their own responsibility. So from my perspective, I mean, it's quite a clickbait title, but generally speaking, all of them are super important, right? So from my perspective, and this is as well the aspects which I was trying to push for all my career. It's a matter of visual testing, right? Because this is the front end layer and it is non-functional test. So in many cases, if you are hitting the button and you are sure that it performed properly, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is placed properly. It has proper shape, proper color, proper design. The difference in the library may change a lot of noise in your application, right? So I mean that there are a bunch of the aspects that you need to remember about that, and the performance is as well another layer of the thing. Yeah, you may have beautiful application, but without running them.
I won't get offended if you are like, yeah, performance is just important, but there are many others. I do agree. It doesn't matter if the button in the front end is the best performing, best programmed, but if it's small enough that people cannot press it with a thumb, it's broken.
Yeah.
The usability there is like, yeah, it's great that technically it's the supreme button of all buttons, but I cannot press it easily. It's not near my thumb. I have baby hands. I cannot reach on the mobile device, to give an example. You're making me think a little like, yeah, a big step. I don't dare to say which one is the most important, but it's high there that it's usable, that you feel good clicking where you're supposed, or that you can. Because sometimes, and I mean, I have some sort of baby hands, and I suffer a lot from that on some
Hmm.
mobile apps when these big, massive cell phones, that my finger cannot reach the border, and that's broken for me. So that's a very interesting point where, think about it, the importance of some of the type of tests that you are doing. Which ones are you obsessing about that maybe you should be checking some others before you obsess about these ones? That's really great, really great. And Bartosz, you were saying as well, like, some things that we should also be paying attention about before we jump into the AI craze and things. Like, what type of other things can you
Hmm.
think of that are also important? That
Yeah. I think that I mean AI is a hot topic at this point. Probably half of the presentation, maybe not half, but one third for sure here are related to the AI. And I understand that, of course. But on the other hand, I see that AI could create a lot of noise in your code. I mean, because if you will use it incorrectly, it doesn't have a proper context across all of the components which you have, right? So probably you have already created a library or some shared component under the hood which is doing that, but you are just focusing on this small class. Yeah, okay, proceed with HTTP request for the specific method, right, and return the list of these things, right? So that's my concern. Yeah, that it will for sure speed up your software, but if you would like to, it depends how you would like to proceed with building the software. Because if it is a matter of selling that and just it, maybe it's fine, right? I am creating the product, the contract is taking 3 months, we are selling that, that's it. But if you would like to build a platform based on something which is stable, you will live with that, yeah, for years. I think that it is super important to understand how to use your agents, your AI, your RAGs effectively in this case, right? And that's my concern when it comes to AI, because I see how Copilot is creating a lot of code, and I know a lot of people who, some of them making a code review out of this output. But in many cases, this is just okay, apply, and if it is compiling, it's fine. It's not fine. I think it should be reviewed once again. So that's the tip from me. That's how I see it from my perspective. It's not the best approach to click apply and forget about this code, because you will get back to it in some time. That's for sure.
it's a little bit like, those terms of contract at the end of a software that you just like, yeah, sure, whatever, accept all the terms and conditions, and you don't even know what you accepted to, and yeah, now you're owned by this corporation. What? That can happen. So I totally agree. Many teams are relying, I feel a bit, not too much. I think that we are increasing the use of AI is good because it's empowering us, but to do it with your eyes closed, I think it's dangerous. As you say, apply. I wouldn't. The example of that I used to give in the past. Have you ever copied and paste Stack Overflow code?
Of course.
I mean, and it's something like I in the past never, I didn't know what I was
Hmm.
pasting, but it
Hmm.
was, the output was what I needed, and that's what I cared. Boy, that created issues. And I think with AI, we're going to experience something like that
Yeah,
if
exactly.
if we just
Exactly.
apply, right?
That might be a problem. And when you mentioned about the text stack, right? Stack Overflow, sorry. I read some time ago about the use case when it comes to this specific platform. Yeah, because number of users, I mean, they have less of number of users from year to year. And the problem here is that in the past, many people were starting from the Stack Overflow, and right now they're just going into the
AI prompts,
AI and just give me the data, right? But this data are based on the things from the
Stack Overflow
from Stack
things.
Overflow. Yeah. So if you wouldn't use it properly, we will live with the knowledge which is from 10 years ago because the threads are the same from the time, right? So that's the main problem as well, which we have.
I love that you point out that huge issue that we have with AI. AI is as smart as the information that it was trained on. It will never come up with something, well, sometimes truly revolutionary or something, but it will depart from those biases, from those code snippets, if you want to call it,
Hmm.
that knowledge. And if the internet or all over the blogs and codes and Stack Overflows and Reddits have it wrong, your AI will be wrong, and you will be clicking accept, accept, accept on that. So I would love to see, like you say, like really pay attention, filter it, check that what it's spitting, it's the right thing that you want, and that it doesn't just return what you're thinking of. That it truly, I mean, from my perspective, performance-wise, it might return, but it takes gigantic steps and requires lots of software and hardware power. So probably it's not the best. But anyway, there's another set of practices that you mentioned that you were tackling in the QA space. Another sets of methodologies and best practices. Like which ones? You advocate for several others, right?
Yeah. I think that we are sometimes forgetting about the fundamentals of the programming, right? So even after that, there is probably a prelection related to this topic at this moment. So all of the principles which are written in clean code in the clean architecture books. I mean, they're not related to the specific technologies or the frameworks, but it's rather a concept of the high level rules, how to build the scalable, maintainable software with the proper responsibilities as well, right? So the things related to the solid are super important. All of the programming patterns, yeah. And to be honest, because I was conducting a lot of technical interviews as well in my career, and I saw a bunch of the situations where people weren't familiar with this concept at all, right? So they know, for example, at the top of their head 20 methods from the Selenium or 7 methods how to click some specific element. But to be honest, I don't care about that because you can find it in the documentation. I prefer someone to understand, okay, you need to prepare a scalable solution for making a payment, right? So you have, for example, a bunch of the payment gateways. So you need to prepare a factory strategy, whatever, under the hood for this, yeah, for these methods, for these gateways, how to handle with the advanced extended objects, right? How to create it via builder or whatever, right? So there are a bunch of the ways how to work smarter in your code, how to handle the thing smarter. But to be honest, I see a lot of people who don't get that, who don't have this knowledge. So I think that from time to time we need to remember about the newest frameworks, and of course, yeah, the Playwright is a hot thing at this point on the market, and I totally understand that because it gives us a lot of flexibility as well. Even the way of mocking the requests is much easier than it was in the Selenium, for example. Yeah, I mean Selenium has its own advantages as well, but maybe it's another topic at this point. But yeah, that's the thing. So that's the fundamentals of programming. Maybe not the automation, but I think that they are crucial to build something that will live with us effectively for years.
And you mentioned that it's better that you wish or you wanted to have people that truly knew what they were doing, not just knowing these three functions from Selenium, these things. How would you recommend the audience to kind of not be that person that
Hmm.
only knows those three things, or what steps to take to become like the engineer that you're looking for?
Yeah. To be honest, I think that the fundamentals are described in the basic books. Basic books, as I mean that clean code written by Uncle Bob. I mean it has two. I think there are two books, one and two. I read both of them. I recommend both. The first one, I think that in the first one there is one chapter related to with the summary of all of these rules. Probably it's chapter 17. I am telling at the top of
Wow,
my
you know
head.
that book well.
Yeah, I know it pretty well. And extension of that is clean architecture from Uncle Bob, for example. Yeah, and I think that this book brings as well a lot of value. And even as a QA architect, it gave me a lot when it comes to building the software, because yeah, it brings you the different way of thinking about the components, right? You are thinking more about the bricks, how you should draw the dependencies between them. Yeah, because if you will do it not in the best way, you will suffer in the future. That's the thing.
I love that your recommendations are straight ahead to books so that people would dive into them. I'm a book reader. I also like a lot to get all the knowledge and kind of stay up to date. Nowadays it's difficult because uh, there are these technologies or AI new trends that are appearing just like 2 months ago, and
Hmm.
there's no way someone is going to write a good book on that fast. But from what you're saying, the fundamentals, the principles, the base knowledge is on books that you should start checking. I love that recommendation.
Yeah, yeah,
I might be very biased, but I think, and I'll ask you for notes to add them to the these
sure.
interview comments so that we can show the audience which ones are them, where to find them, the authors. If you haven't read some of them and you are on QA, you'd better read them. And now, switching gears a little bit, Bartosz, you mentioned as well some methodologies to kind of manage and deal with software creation in a healthy way so that the technical debt doesn't like get over you. What do you think of this? Do you have methodologies for shift left or things that you like or that
Hmm.
you advocate for?
Yeah. I think that shift left can bring a lot of value, because I mean, but as well you need to do it in a smart way, because I saw as well situations where people were struggling with the shift left because they weren't prepared properly. The process wasn't prepared for that. So starting from the activities like, for example, Free Amigos sessions, where you have developer, someone from the business, and QA, right? They can define many things together. It is a kind of the pre-finement in many situations.
At the definition moment, don't wait until the end to get the three amigos ready.
Yeah, so that's the first example. Validating UX prototypes. In many situations, you will have the flow with the story. I mean, the scenario displayed screen by screen, yeah, with all of the flow. So we can validate that easily if we have something like that. Because after implementation, we need to redefine two things or rewrite two things, yeah, the one on the developer side as well as the design. Different kind of the static analysis, right? So static code, that's for sure, but validating the documents as well. You can have multiple agents. Maybe this is as well might be one of the patterns for that. Yeah. So to prepare an agent which could validate the requirements. Yeah, from the practical perspective. And when it comes to the automation, of course, we can push automation activities to the very early phases of the process. So in this case, maybe we could work parallelly with the dev on the feature branch and try to prepare at least the core of our solution, because in this case, I mean, we'll improve the development process a lot. That's the thing, but we can deliver faster for sure the core of our solution. So that's the thing. And in this case, I mean, the weakness of the solution is, of course, the situation of having a kind of the breaking changes, because the APIs are not ready for that. So that's the thing, but you still have a mocks, right? So or you might prepare at least the core of the solution. So bunch of the things we can deliver, bunch of the things for that.
Would you mocking? I know that it's a solution that helps you move through before things are completely ready. But have you had any experiences where mocking works against?
Hmm. Yeah. So generally speaking, in the playwright, it's quite straightforward. I mean, there was a lot of pain when it comes to Selenium.
Yeah,
It wasn't easy at all to create a wrapper on the Selenium for that. I mean, it was possible, but it hurts a lot. And in the playwright, because it's out of the box, it is available in the it is visible in the it is available in documentation as well. So it's a matter of writing one page with the example. There is as well, because playwright is delivering the application, which where we can verify these patterns, and there is as well the one strongly related to this. I mean, this is the representation of the page where you can check this specific example, yeah, with the list of the fruits, I think. And in this example, you can just inject over this fruits probably a playwright name, right, and just verify if this one only was injected. So
that helps a little bit with like moving through with and kind of managing to complete the steps. have you had the situation where the mocking is left there, even when the mocked part is already working and finished?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, mocking brings a lot of challenges as well, because if you would like to test, I mean, at the end, you need to somehow prove that this data will in fact fill your fields. So that's the thing. So these are a bit different things, because, for example, for the visual testing, you can as well mock the things, because if you have the dynamic data, you will have the false negatives on the front end,
Yeah.
due to the reference and the test result. Um, for the integration test as well, you can mock. But if you would like to test something from the end to end, the weakness might be the situation that you need to have these services deployed somewhere. You need to call them the real instances of the services.
What if the
But
source of the problem is the service,
yeah,
the source
that's
of the defect?
exactly.
And
So
mocking will totally hide that.
exactly, exactly. That's the thing. So in this case, you need to test as well deeper, right? So to understand what this specific component is doing. I very recommend contract testing as well, component testing, unit testing. I mean, you can do a bunch of the things, right? So generally speaking, my role when it comes to the building the strategy is it looks like that. If it is possible to test something on the lower level of the testing pyramid, in
Always do.
in most of the cases you should proceed that, yeah. And even because I was on the collection of Andy Knight a couple of
Hmm.
hours ago, and he was I mean he was describing the concept of API tests and why it most might not be the most effective one, and over that we should use a contract plus unit testing. And that's exactly the concept, right? These are
Love
the
it.
things which are going above that.
Pyramid principle
Yeah,
all
yeah,
over the
yeah.
place.
Below
Did you
that, and
attend
that's the
this
thing.
BDD tutorial?
Yeah, yeah, we are working with that a bit. I mean, I was working with the BBD for many years, because I have been working in the .NET for years as well. So I was working with the spec flow, with Rock and Roll right now, I think it is, with the Cucumber, in Java, in the TypeScript as well. So to be honest, not my favorite pattern.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time, but why is not your favorite pattern?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that I mean, it depends how you are building your business, because if you have quite business driven requirements and you have the behavior driven development stories in the tickets, and business will help you bring this value, they're writing the stories, it makes a lot of sense to do it like that. But if you have just a description in the ticket and you need to prepare the scenario by your own,
Mm,
I think that
it doesn't work there at all.
it's not the best pattern. So in this case, I prefer the patterns like AAA. So it's orange actor set. It's much more effective, and for the technical person, it's giving much more technical value as well. I mean, we are cutting the abstraction layer at the top of that.
Hmm.
So I saw as well many frameworks where people were struggling with the BDD. Right, there were multiple. I mean, there were same actions hidden under multiple the same methods. Yeah, there were
Wow.
hundreds of same methods. So yeah, but
Okay.
as well, yeah, fundamentals of programming, yeah, you need to somehow handle it properly. You
Yeah.
can have objects, tables, but yeah, that's another story. We could talk about
We
that,
can go for long, but
yeah.
sadly, we're running out of time. Amigo Bartosz, I'm sorry. I really, really want to geek out on the rest of the things. This is really, really interesting and important for everybody to understand the fundamentals and to make sure that you know what you're doing. I mean, you shouldn't have to be told, but we keep repeating it. So, Amigo Bartosz, if anyone wants to reach out to you, follow you, get in touch, where can they find you?
Hmm. I think that LinkedIn is the best place. I am all of the time on the LinkedIn, so try over there. Um, yeah, I think that
That's the
that's
main
yeah,
point of contact.
I think so.
If you want to add him and you had trouble with the name, it's written down here on the screen because, yeah, it wasn't easy for me.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but we're not used to some of that. But definitely follow him and stay in touch. And anyone in Poland, well, you have here a very good representation, uh, thought leader, really, really good at what he's doing. And sounds like you are going to be presenting at more conferences. I have the feeling.
I hope so. I hope this is just the beginning. Thank you
Amigo,
very much for this.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and big thanks for you, because you are doing an amazing job here. I
Oh.
see how many hours you spent here, moving with the camera. And big thanks for your wife, right? Probably.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
She's rocking it. We are getting a blast here, and thank you for bringing that up because
oh, nice.
this is not the end. We're still going to be running with the camera one more time today after this interview. And well, amigo Bartos, thank you very much. It has been a huge pleasure to talk to you, to admire a great mustache. I love it. And everybody, thank you very much. Stay tuned because we're going to be back in a moment for a running passport stamp process. Hopefully, we will put that passport in the raffle and get a prize. Let's see what we can do. Amigo Bartos, thank you very much. Adios, everybody. Take care. How do you say
See
adios
you
in Polish?
guys. Do zobaczenia.
Oh, wow. I won't try the same thing. Let's stick with adios. Bye. Take
Ciao.
care.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao. That's easier.